All right, coming in at number 10, we are now into the top 10, 13 to 10. It slips in the top 10. This is Mars and Pump Up the Volume. Now, I think I've mentioned that this is like one of the most sampled. This has got more samples in it than a Wawa. I don't know. Anyway, it was a number one hit in the many countries and recorded a significant milestone for the development of British house music and music sampling. The song derives its title directly from the musical sample of I Know You Got Soul, which was a song from label mates Eric B. and Rakim. The song was the product of an uneasy collaboration between electronic group Colorbox and dream pop A-Arcane, two groups signed to the independent label 4AD. The A-side was written primarily by Colorbox, while the B-side, Anita, was primarily an Arcane creation. The link-up was suggested by label founder Ivo Watts Russell, after the two groups have independently suggested that the possibility of releasing a commercial dance record, inspired by the American house music that was starting to make an impact on the UK charts. Now, ARK released an EP entitled When You're Sad on One Little Indian Records in late 1986. Frustrated by the lack of support from the label, Alex Ello of the band approached 4AD owner Ivo Watts Russell to see if the label would take them on. Derek Brett, the owner of One Little Indian, was under the impression that 4AD was trying to poach his band, and along with label designer Paul White and Enan Orn Bendixson from the Sugar Cubes, visited the 4AD offices on One World to confront Mr. Watts Russell. Colin Wallace, a 4AD staff member, convened a team from the warehouse to support Watts Russell, despite a heated argument in which a furious Burkett told Watts Russell, "You don't do that. You blankety-blank stole my blankety-blank band." Arcane signed to 4A on a one-off release. Following the release of the Lolita EP, the band voiced their disappointment with One Little Indian, who had failed to deliver on the promise that Arcane could not produce Indian Sherwood. Watts suggested that they instead work with Marion Lung of Colorbox. The collaboration between the groups did not go entirely to plan. Once in the studio, the group's different working methods and personalities failed to gel. Producer John Farrell found himself in the middle and unable to resolve the conflict. So there was a lot of drama going on here. The result was, instead of working together, the groups ended up with recording a track each, then encouraged him to other for additional input. Colorbox came up with Pump Up the Volume, percussion-led engineer and Smith feared nature of the Eric B. and the Rakim 7 that we've already mentioned. Arcane created the more deliberate artsy Anita, the first time I see her dance in another studio. Colorbox added a heavy drum machine rhythm to effects to Anita, and Arcane overdubbed some additional guitar to pump up the volume. The coup de grace, however, was the addition of scratch mixes, effects by samples by DJ Chris C.J. McIntosh and David Durrell. Colorbox told Watts Dawson that they didn't want Anita on the B-side and wanted Pump Up the Volume released solely as a Colorbox track. Watts Russell overruled them, in part because Young's notoriously slow work rate prospect of the track held up for another 12 to 18 months, and released the track as Mars, as originally planned. This led to the relationship with the band collapsing, and they never released a 4/4 AD again. My God. Anyway, there's just so many samples here. I think you got Africa Kabata, Barcase. I think I read this before on the Spotify thing as well. James Brown, Eric B. and Rakim, Fab Five Freddy, Graham Central Station, Jimmy Castor Bunch, Kool and the Gang, George Kranz, Love, Mars Needs Women. Okay, Montana Sextet, original concept of group Public Enemy, Run DMC, Stock Aitken Waterman. There's a lot. Whistle, nothing serious, just bugging. There's a lot of samples on here. I don't know if you'll be able to pay attention to all of them. This, however, is the UK version. It's different from the US version. The music video you'll see in the UK version. On our playlist on YouTube Music, you'll hear the US version. Here, you're going to hear the UK version. I think that's what it is because, I tried to find the damn thing, and this is what I came up with. Here's the song, Pump Up the Volume from Mars. It's up from 13 to 10.